We live. What's the deal? What's the deal? I see what's going on, man. Look, you got the successor, man. What's going on? Gonna really pop the, you know what I'm saying? Look, man, little merch. Hey, little dry release, pre-release, man. Hey, y'all see what's going on, man. What's the deal? Hey, you live in tune with the successor, man. Welcome back to another episode of Hustle Logic. I am your host, man, the successor, man. Successor Reek. What's the deal, man? Go ahead, drop down a comment below. Let me know where you tuning in from, man. If you messing with the content, if you checked out any of my previous content, you know what I'm saying? If you like what you're hearing, if you like what you're seeing, man, I look good too. I sound even better. But hey, man, let me know how y'all feeling about everything, man. What's going on? Where you tuning in from? And if you've been rocking with me since I was the professor as a game changer, hey, let me know that too, man, because I've been here. I've been around, man. It's been some time. I got some special things for y'all today. Look, it's been about a week or so since we've talked and got exclusive and close and a little caught up on the information. So look, we're going to take some time today, man. I got a couple things for y'all that we might get into a third thing. I really got three things for y'all, but man, look, I got two things for y'all right now that is really close to me, man. The first thing is, if you didn't notice already, man, the merch. You know what I'm saying? Now, this is just a dry release, and I'm not necessarily saying that I'm going to be pushing the merch, but believe me, if you like what you see, definitely let me know. I can get you one made for a fee, of course. Running a digital product business, man, got to keep the lights on some kind of way. So, flat out. So, hey, but coming up with some different designs for the shirt, just trying some things out, messing around my designer and things like that. So, man, look, gonna be just like I said, testing some things out, seeing what's working for me, what I like, man, but more importantly, what other people might like. You know, if y'all like what y'all see, if you want to see Hustle Logic written in bold letters, if you want to see just the logo, man, the gold and the red flame on a black backdrop, we can do that as well too. So, hey, any way that y'all like it, man, and y'all want me to bring it to y'all, I can do that. Right now, this is just for myself, man. Just, hey, man, it's a movement. We pushing the brand, we pushing the name. So that's all that this was. So this was the first thing, man. Like I said, job release. Again, let me know. Leave some comments down below. Interact with me so I can interact with you guys and bring you guys more of what you might be looking for. Now, look, I'm got the free content releasing. Is dropping them hooks. I'm dropping them gems, man. I'm trying to pique interest as best that I can. But I really recommend you guys tuning in into my Telegram chat. Man, I get some deep information, some deep sauce. What I'm bringing to y'all today is only going to be a portion of the first digital product. The first module is done for the Hustle Blueprint, man. So you better believe, look, if you was in that group, if you in my Hustle chat, y'all got it first, man. So salute to y'all being in tune with your boy, man. You getting daily motivational quotes, affirmations, word of the day. Okay, so not only are you getting a message, but I'm also dropping a new word every single day. So something I'm working on a little, man. One thing about me, man, if you rocking with me, you rocking with the successor, you rocking with me on my full blueprint. We doing what I want to do, man, because it's what I want to do, man. If you want to do your own thing, you run your own business. But over here, man, I'm running my own program. So, hey, I'm focused now. Go for myself moving forward, starting this year, is to just develop my vocabulary, man, my vernacular, increase the wordplay, man. I've always had a way with words, man, but what you want, man, a mentor of mine told me, what you want is on the other side of another person. So, excuse me. I got something. Just water real quick. All right, so a mentor told me what you want is on the other side of another person. Okay? Meaning you have to be willing to converse. Okay? One thing that we learned back at sale, when I went to like sales training, after you have made your pitch and you've presented your opportunity, your sale, whatever, your business, first person to speak is the person that loses. You know what I'm saying? So if you done gave your spill and they looking at it, they thinking about it, and you're like, you know, but this option here is really good too. Not to mention this back one back here too. You know, I could even do this. You've already lost. You know, you're striking. But if you can be the person to sit there in that silence, man, I'll tell you, anything more than 2 seconds feels like a lifetime, feels like eternity, man. You just sitting there waiting on somebody to say something back to you. But hey, man, if you can sit there, be quiet, be still, hey, that person's usually going to do exactly what you want them to do, man. It's a way of psychology, man. It's called method thinking, method mindset. So you have to know how to use the right method on the right person. It's not something I'm gonna get too deep into now, but man, just it's conditioning at the end of the day, conditioning. And by doing that, you really can, in practicing that, you're not upset when somebody says no. These are just different things that we used to do in sales, like I said, to get you conditioned to being ready for people to tell you no. Something might not work out in the business for the deal, man. So that way you don't lose your self-confidence and you can keep that motivation into the next client, because really you already know, look, I got to get through 10 no's to get to that one yes. I got to get through 100 no's to get to that one yes. But that one yes is going to change everything for my business. It's going to be that significant of a win. And man, that's a lot of times. That's how life is a lot of times. You got to go through a lot of bad opportunities. You got to go through a lot of bad trials. That's why I always encourage people really around me, but just now bringing it to everybody on the internet, man, go out and try things. Early on in my 20s, since the moment I was really, let me go back further than my 20s. I've always tried things. Since I was 8 years old, man, I was just doing things that was out of the box. When I was 12, when I was 16, 15, I was in trades, ironically, at 16 years old, had no aspirations at the time of being, a plumber or a boiler man. And fast forward 10 years later, that's exactly what I'm doing now, So it's like, you'll be surprised what you get into, man. And if you don't try anything, you'll never know what you're good at. All right. If you don't know what you're good at, how can you know what you want to pursue in life? What might be your purpose? What is there for your pleasure? You might embark on a new hobby. I was telling a customer today, actually having a conversation. I'm telling the guy, I'm like, man, had I not been plumbing, I'll be painting. I love to paint. Funny thing is, I hated art class growing up in school. It wasn't maybe until like sophomore year, 10th grade year, 11th grade year, maybe, where I had this one cool art teacher who actually showed me how to draw, if that makes sense. Like, they actually broke down like how to, do dimensions and different things like that, and like actually draw a straight line. And don't get me wrong, it's much bigger than that, but it was just more fun. We did all different types of water painting, man. I just kind of like started to really take a liking to it. But after that, I didn't take art again for the rest of high school. Again, it wasn't until I was back and forth with my uncle, working with him, and he showed me how to hold a paintbrush, man, how to, run the long strokes, how to use a roller, man, and just, when to dip your roller. It's just, man, it's a very particular set of skills that go along with that. And it requires a lot of patience and a lot of hand-eye coordination. Same with cutting your hair and getting the barber, man. It's just those kind of things, man. I like things that are peaceful. A lot of times with plumbing, usually goes fairly well. If you got the right job, man, the circumstances are in the right condition, it's very calm. You can get things done. If you run into a problem, make sure the water's off, of course. But, usually you can take a step back, think about it, come back to it. And, it's only you can do it so many different ways. And that's another thing about it too. So there's no one right way about it. And I've always liked that as well too. So, hey, just that's kind of how, like I said, tying back in with patience and things like that. But what I say all that to say to make a long story short and a short story longer, you got to be willing to try things, man. Had I not done that and even tried it, I'd probably be working a dead end job. You know what I'm saying? Quite frankly, I'd be working a dead end job, man. I did a lot of different things, but I always came back into the trades because I knew, and man, I had really been using it as a kind of like a back, like a plan B or like a crutch, maybe even, because I just knew, early on that I'm like, man, I could pull some of these nicks and things that I don't learn out, and I could make me something, put some food on the table. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta think big, man. You gotta think big. So changed my whole way of thinking. But look, brings me to this, man. Because I tried so many different things and I'm still trying so many things in my life, this is what brought me to digital marketing, digital products, man. I never really been a person. Let me take that back. I haven't always been too big of being on the internet. All right. And it wasn't up until I had my first business starting back in 2019 which brought me back onto the internet being serious. Like I had deleted Instagram, wasn't on my Facebook, man, didn't have the app no more. So it took a lot to get me back into it. But hey, you know, got into business. I was trading, doing day trading, man, and doing marketing. That's what got me back into business and mentorship and all types of things. And I actually would utilize products. And see, I got it coming out the sleeve, man. Like it's that pure, man. I could send it like this too, man. It's gonna be. Don't worry, I'm gonna get y'all access to this, but I'm gonna put this one back in here. But you know, I'm just talking now. There we go. But yeah, man, had I not just tried different things, done so many different things, I wouldn't have even wanted to get into digital products. You know, you ever seen something? Put this way. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't. But you ever seen somebody do something? I never been a hater either. So if you got hate in your heart, you know, you might not can't relate. Hopefully this content will help you change your perspective and your way of thinking, your, you know what I'm saying, that character flaw that you have. But my point is, you ever just seen somebody living the lifestyle that you know you're supposed to be living? Again, you ain't hating. You're not hating. So you're not looking at it like, oh, the mic isn't messed up, man. I have to work through it. But you ever just, yeah, you see somebody that's living the life that you're supposed to be living, man. And I saw somebody doing just that, and they sold digital products. So I said, hey, man, I got to get into that, man, because I believe in passive income, residual income, working smarter, not harder. I have a great thing. I have a good thing going, but I want a great thing. I want an even greater thing to come from me, you know, so there's nothing wrong with doing more, man. I believe in increase of volume is going to lead to inevitable success. So in abundance. So, hey, man, look, we got the first product, man. I'm going to show y'all. All right, man, the Hustle Blueprint Introduction Course by Successor Reek, man. I hope it's not too, let it focus for a second. Hopefully y'all can see that pretty good. All right. And I'm not going to get too deep into it, man. Like I said, I released it free in my chat. All right. Join the hustle chat, man. The hustle group. Link gonna be in the description down below, man. Join the movement, man. It's shit bigger than life. Respectfully, it is, man. I'm telling you, everything that you think you know about yourself, about, you know, being a man, look, growing up, out here hustling, getting money, it don't matter, man. Look, forget that and relearn it and do it. Let's learn it the right way. You know what I'm saying? Let's learn it the right way. You know, we can grow together in a community vibes, man. Look, everybody want to be a part of the winning team. So come be a part of the winning team, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like being a part of the Golden State Warriors before they was winning their championships. You know what I'm saying? It's like being a part of that dynasty in 2013. You know what I'm saying? Like, you knew it was coming. You know what I'm saying? We know what's going on over here. We ain't put the full NBA on notice just yet. But look, by 2017, 16, 17, look, everybody wanted to be a Golden State Warriors fan. And it was like, no, stay over there. Don't join the bandwagon now. But hey, that's cool too. When it's written on the wall, man, it's too late. Don't be that person that waited till the writing got on the wall. Help put it on the wall with me. You know what I'm saying? Let's do this. So I'm gonna just read a couple pages, man. I might, or not even a couple pages. I'm gonna read a couple quotes, sentences from a few pages. You know what I'm saying? It's a couple chapters. I released it. It will be posted on my Stan Store for a charge. I haven't came up with a fee yet, but nothing crazy. You know what I'm saying? It is the first product. So I want it to be affordable to everybody so that people can get in and just get a piece, get a glimpse of what is to come from, man, getting with the mentorship, honestly. You know what I'm saying? Get with the mentorship, book a call. You know what I'm saying? We can set up a webinar, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what you need. You know, if we talk a little bit more, depending on how the conversation going, depending on what you got going on, how I can help you be better with that in certain areas. But you know what I'm saying? This is just, it's another hook. All right, man. Look, the content, the gems, the videos, the clips, those are other hooks. You know what I'm saying? Tiny little pieces of the game. But hey, This right here is going to get you a step closer, get you deeper, more informed. It's really going to give you some actionable steps, because that's my favorite thing, man. So, you know what I'm saying? It's one thing to talk about something, but I like to actually do things. I like to prove myself and when I'm doing those things as well too. So this is going to get you actionable steps, man. So look, I'm gonna read the first page. I can sell it digitally, and I can get you a hard copy as well too. So, you know, so if you wanted me to print it off and put it in a nice sleeve and kind of get it as a booklet, I can do that as well too. I might even, you know, say do some signed copies as well. So, all right, we got the Hustle Blueprint Introduction Course by Successorique. All right, structure turns ambition into achievement. Okay, what does that mean to you? What does that mean to you? I want y'all to think about that. You know, put it down in the comments when you thought about it too. What is structure turns ambition into achievement? What does that mean to you? Okay. All right. First, Hustle Blueprint: how to organize your life to achieve your goals and highest level of success. Okay, that's what we all about over here, man. So, I might get into the other thing, you know, which is just going over some questions that I've gathered from other men, other individuals have been asking me, and I've given them, you know, answers, but I haven't given the full breakdown. So, you know, we'll talk more about that. Might be on a separate video, might get to that today, might not. But I want to focus on this right now, man. How to organize your life to achieve your goals and highest level of success. So now you might be thinking, if you're new here, what is Hustle Logic? You know, what does that mean to me? Hustle Logic, okay, is a performance, is a blueprint, a businessman of different men, individuals, okay, that are coming together, using and utilizing and learning a higher level, okay, a higher level. We want to be higher beings, the best versions of ourselves, okay. So I'm teaching young men from the ages of 18 as far up to, you know what I'm saying, hey, all men need it, you know what I'm saying, but yeah, starting at the ages of 18 and really showing young men personal and professional development. All right, man, how to walk the walk, talk the talk, the etiquette, you know what I'm saying, how to go out there if you ain't ever had to sit down for no interview, get you a job, you know what I'm saying, sit down and look the part, tuck your shirt in, give a firm handshake, look a man in his eye when he's speaking to you, you know what I'm saying, announce yourself when you step inside of a room. Don't go in a room with people and you scared to talk. Like, we're gonna fix up on that. All right, we're gonna fix up on that, man. So I'm showing y'all how to do all these different things. But first, before we can go out there and do all these things, we gotta fix it inside. All right, we gotta change our way of thinking, our feelings, your emotions. Okay, you gotta be rational about things as well too. So it's gotta make sense to you first, and then we can go outside and spread the gospel. You know what I'm saying? So we'll go over the first page, man. I'll read the first page of the first chapter. We'll get into it, and we'll break it down from there. You know, I want to give us some substance first, and then we'll get into it. You know, and I want y'all to leave some questions, man. I know this is a pre-recorded video, but leave some questions, man, that you might have about what you've already heard, what you're hearing, and I can come back and I can answer those on another video. You know, so I might do a follow-up depending on how many questions y'all leaving and y'all interacting. So let me know something. All right, so chapter 1, the mindset shift. Okay, you got to remember, coming into this first product, listen to these videos, forget what you think you know about being the best version of yourself, a higher version of yourself, okay? Because you got to have a different mindset shift. So what you think you know about getting successful, getting rich, whatever, forget it, okay? The best way to take in new information is forgetting what you already think you know. All right, forget all that old stuff, and let's stick on to let's get into some new information. All right, we want to be open and let the information flow. Okay, we want to be optimistic about the information. So, 1 second, check something real quick. All right, bet. So I just had to make sure that was still good. We get a sip of water. We're gonna get into it. All right, so the mindset shift. All right. When it comes to taking the first step into success, before any action or result, you must first start with a mental shift within yourself. This is going to require a great deal of discipline and structure. To accomplish this, you must be willing to forget everything that you think you know about successful beings and achieving goals. What did I just say? I'm gonna read that last sentence again, man. To accomplish this, you must be willing to forget everything you think you know about being successful beings and achieving goals. All right. You cannot, man, you ever try, you almost gonna be stubborn to the information, man. You ever tried to tell somebody something like you're telling them what they need to hear? Like, you know that what you're saying is right, but they're so stuck in their ways about what they think they know, even if it's wrong. They're like, man, I have clients all the time, and I might put something back. Like, they've let all these different types of people that aren't certified to work on things come in their house and do different things. I come in, I do the work, I do it the right way. They think because what they've originally had in their home has been wrong for so many years, they believe that that's the right way. And when I do something, I do it the right way, which is the actual right way to get it done and how it's supposed to work. They're shocked. They're like, their ideology behind it is like, this is wrong. It was doing this before, but now it's, and it's like, hey, it's always been wrong. The last person that did this, they installed it wrong. So it's always been wrong for you. It's never been right. It's never been right. But because that's what you're accustomed to, you're conditioned to it, you believe that it's right. You believe that what I have done is the actual wrong thing, when in all actuality, I've done the right thing. This is working how it's supposed to work. Beforehand, when I got here, when you called me out, it wasn't working how it was supposed to work. So sometimes people, they're so stuck in their ways. Like, look, it was never done right. That has always been wrong. What you thought you knew back then, what you're accustomed to, has always been wrong. Forget all of that. Open up your mind to this new information. Let me fill your brain with some new game. All right. Some new hustle logic. All right. So boom. Next paragraph. All right. First task that you need to do is decide on what is success to you. All right. We're going to stop right there already, because success is different to everybody. Success is different to everybody. You know what I'm saying? So some people, success to them is just being able to maybe go in business for themselves. You know what I'm saying? Be successful, be self-employed. I'll put it like that. I ain't gonna say entrepreneur, be self-employed. You want to be self-employed. Other people, they might want to be an entrepreneur. You might strive to run your own business, your own company, and have people work up under you. Okay, there's a difference between self-employed and being an entrepreneur. Some people, success for you is just being able to retire with a decent 401k, pension, some money saved up in a savings account after doing 30 years. You know what I'm saying? It's different for everybody. Some successful people might just be saving up their first 10,000. Somebody else might be saving $10,000 and, stacking 10,000 a month. Somebody else might want to make $100 million. Like, somebody else might just want to move their family off into the outskirts and, man, live off the land. What is success to you, man? You need to decide. Don't look at what everybody, it's like love, man. You ask everybody, like, it's there's no straightforward answer. Nobody can tell you what love is or what it's supposed, you know what I'm saying? Same with success. Nobody can tell you what success is to you. You just know, hey, this feeling, when I obtain this, you know what I'm saying, I'll feel that I'm at success. When it's all said and done and I got this all accomplished, I know that I'm at success. That can be tricky because, look, you start getting success, it's going to be, man, I'm trying to tell you, man, look, it be never ending, man. You always going to be striving for something else because now you're conditioned to keep winning. Okay. So look, well, we're not gonna get into that right now. So first task that you need to do is decide on what is success to you. All right. What is it that you could accomplish or achieve? All right. That would mean the most to you when it's all said and done, that you can look back on and say, man, this brought me success. I am at peace. Okay. The first step and the most important one this is the first and most important step, because your focus of discipline is going to be reliant on how bad you want to achieve your goal and obtain the success. Discipline is going to be reliant on how bad you want to achieve. When you wake up first thing in the morning, man, you got to know you want to win. What's the goal? Is it worth having, or is the bed more comfortable? You know what I'm saying? You got to know. Get your priorities straight. All right. Your success is going to be reliant on your level of discipline. Are you sitting down and, you know what I'm saying, you get in front of this camera every single week? Are you, you know what I'm saying, working behind the scenes and putting together the module, doing the product? Are you doing your homework? You know what I'm saying? Are you reading your books? You networking. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you're doing these things. All right. So even your worst. All right. So we go back here. All right. Discipline is going to be reliant on how bad you want to achieve your goal and obtain success. Even your worst of days, what is going to keep you not just motivated, but disciplined to still go out and do what it takes to hit the next level. The goal must be so massive that you have to make a choice over breathing or living out your goals. You see how long you can hold your breath. All right, man. That's just the intro, man. In the intro right there. We getting into some deep stuff, man. We getting into some deep stuff. Let me see. You know, because I'm gonna go over that, man. Look. I don't even know if I should read that one for you. We'll see. Let's dive back into that though. Let me go back to the page. Let's dive back into this last couple of sentences though, man. All right. The goal must be so massive that if you had to make a choice over breathing or living out your goals and your dreams, you would see how long you could hold your breath. You know, so it just goes back. How bad do you want it? You know, how disciplined are you? What are you willing to sacrifice? You gotta make sacrifices every day. You know what I'm saying? But are you gonna make sacrifices to hitting the next level, you know, to bettering yourself? So you gotta ask yourself, what is it? What out here is so big that you want to make? Because man, life is a precious thing. Life is a precious thing, man. You gotta think the fact that you wake up every single day, you must serve some sort of purpose. But you gotta go out there and figure out what that is. Find that out. So right now, if you have no goal, if you don't know what would be success to you, do what makes you feel good. Start thinking about that. All right. If nothing in particular really makes you feel good, or, you know, it's not that you want to excel in, or maybe it's not as positive as it should be, or a positive thing, I want you to start trying doing different things. Try a new hobby. Try some new restaurants, man. Try some new different foods. Try some new activities. If you're big on sports, try a different sport. Try sitting with a different group of people at lunch. Start talking to some different people in your classrooms, on the job site. Just kind of try some things. Try some things. When that person cuts you in line, I want you to speak up and say, hey, I was standing here. You know, it's like, you don't have to take it to the extreme, but like there's things that bother us throughout the day, you know what I'm saying? Or things that make us feel a type of way, and you don't say nothing because you're scared to be uncomfortable. Look, this is what it's going to require. It's going to require, all right, I'm getting a little too deep into the you know, the book like now. It's saying different things. I got people that's paying for that, so I don't want to give too much for free. But you got to be willing to do what is going to make people look at you crazy almost. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, man, I'm doing this. People done told me to stop. They told me, hey, man, you should just quit. Like, flat out. I'm not even, like, no bullshit. No bullshit. People tell me, like, yeah, you know, you should do with that. You should just quit. You're like, man, you know, so you don't see the vision. You don't see the vision. Look, when people say that to me, it used to really mean something. Now, quite frankly, you don't give a, you know what I'm saying? So we flipping birds on them. Because when it's all set, man, look, when it's written on the wall, like I said, look, it don't matter because this is success to me. All right, it's about what I want. This is my life. Okay, this is what I want to make of it. I don't care about what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? But if you're going to be around me, you want to see this come into being into the physical. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to take with everything that's in my mind that I know is supposed to be meant for me and in my heart, and I'm going to actually make it happen. Come on, man. Brick by brick, layer by layer. Okay, but it's got to be worth it. We're in the middle of winter right now. Look, it's cold. It's cold, but we still out here hustling. We still out here getting it because it's that big. And I'm using that as an analogy, meaning, you know what I'm saying? Like, are you going to continue to build the home and build your foundation and finish laying the bricks? You only going to do it on sunny days, or only on warm days, or only on days when you feel like it? I'm be real, man. That house ain't never going to get finished. While you struggling on that, look, my house going to be finished up. I'm going to be sheltered. I'm going to be living good. I'm going to build up the foundation. That way, when the next storm comes and the next one and the next one, I'm inside. I'm protected. I have shelter, roof over my head, walls around my body. You know what I'm saying? I know we good. We inside. We building something even bigger now. And now I got the privacy because look, I done developed so much that look, I can work on things and just pop out with it now. You know, so everybody ain't got to see what's going on. They can't even critique it because they can't even see it. You know what I'm saying? Look, there's a story. I done told this story before on my page, actually. Two brothers, man. Look, they're both lumberjacks. I'm gonna tell this story real quick, man. I want you to tell me what the message means to you. Two brothers, all right, they're both lumberjacks. And you got the older brother, you got the younger brother. The older brother, he chops more wood than anybody on the entire forest, on the entire job site. And his younger brother tells him, like, man, I want to challenge you that I can chop more wood than you. So the older brother says, let's do it. Let's do it. I give you a week. So at the end of the week, when we tallied everything up, we'll see what's going on. All right, bet. So the next day, they come into work. Boom, they come in together. Younger brother, he gets right to it, man. He starts chopping up the wood, doing what he's supposed to. Look, he comes in an hour early. He stays an hour late. And he skips his lunch. Come on now. Come on, man. It's a given that he can win, right? Right? So, younger brother, all right, man, Wednesday, let's say it's about middle of the week, Wednesday, Thursday. Funny thing is, again, every day he's been coming in early, staying an hour later, skipping the lunch. He ain't been doing nothing but cutting wood 12 hours a day, nonstop, man. Nonstop. But by the middle of the week, older brother, big bro, still has a significant amount more of wood chopped. Younger brother he can't make sense of it. So he goes to his older brother. He humbles himself finally and says, man, I've been watching you all week. I just can't figure out what it is that you're doing differently. How is it that you've chopped so much more wood than me? Pulls the younger brother over and says, I see what you got going on, little bro. You coming in early, you staying an hour later. You know what I'm saying? You skipping lunch. But little brother, while you're doing all that, while you're skipping lunch, you know what I'm doing? I'm staying hydrated. I'm making sure I get something to eat. I take me an hour nap. That way I got me some energy to finish out through the rest of the day. But most importantly, I sharpen my axe. Tells little brother, that's the most important thing, man. I sharpen my axe. Little brother was so caught up in wanting to win that he was chopping wood with a dull blade. A lot of us out here, man, y'all trying to chop wood with a dull blade. We cutting down the same tree, and we got 2 hours to do it. And I took the first hour to sharpen my axe. You know what I'm saying? Who's gonna chop down that tree faster? I used the first hour to sharpen the axe before I cut down the tree. Who's gonna chop the tree down faster, man? Look, I say that to say, man, a lot of us out here just moving way too quick. You getting these different skill sets. Yeah, you might learn a thing or two. You might have, all right, I bet I learned this. I felt like you ain't mastered it, but you felt like you'd learned enough to be proficient in it. All right, cool. You on to the next thing. Granted, you can get proficient in some things very quickly, but it's going to take an intentional amount of hours working towards it and for it before you do come proficient at it. So y'all are out here moving so fast and trying to jump into so many different lanes, and you have yet to sharpen your sword. Man, the good book says he may have sharpened his sword, but it has yet to have tested. And what I take from that is some of us out here, man, look, you might be sharpening your sword, but you're not testing it. You're not out here going to war behind what you want to do. You're not putting no action in. Affirmative action. You know what I'm saying? This is what the blueprint is going to do for you. This is what the blueprint is going to do for you, man. That's what's going to change your life. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are out here doing so many things. You're inspired by so many things. But once that motivation gets killed out, gets burnt out, once you turn off your phone screen, once you close this video and this video ends, everything is forgotten about. Man, go out there. I'm helping you sharpen your sword. I'm telling you and giving you the tools and resources and pointing you in the right direction. Sharpen your sword. Let's go out here and get ready for battle. Sharpen your axe. Let's chop down these trees, man. It's time to win, man. It's time to win. It's time to stop thinking and looking at how you think you're supposed to be living and how you would like to live. And let's really start doing that. Affirmative action, man. Look, sharpen your sword, sharpen your axe. Do what you got to do, man. Get battle tested. Don't even come at me saying you really out here, man, if you ain't been battle tested. I'm talking to myself as well, too. I got a lot more to do. A lot more life to live, man. A lot more things I need to try. A lot more times that I need to fail. So, hey, man, when it's all said and done, you see what's going on, man. The successor will still stand. I will still rise, man. Hey, you live in tune with another episode of Hustle Logic, man. Hey, it's not a podcast. It's a talk show, man. Holla at your boy. We out.